Hello everybody, welcome back to Screenstars. I'm here today to bring you my review for the 2023 science fiction film First Contact. The film is written and directed by Bruce Wemple and it stars Anna Shields, James Little, Chris Kimperman and Caitlin Duffy. Now the film focuses on two siblings. We've got Casey and Dan. They head to their father's farmhouse. Their father was a scientist. He is seemingly passed or gone missing, presumed dead. So they both head out to this farmhouse. They've kind of not been in touch with each other for a few years, trying to decide what to do, trying to make sense of his unfinished research. And while there, they discover that there is some kind of timeless entity or extraterrestrial that is hell-bent on exterminating humankind, and they have to try and figure out how to make first contact with another species in order to save the human race. Yeah, I think I've got that. Right, what are my thoughts on First Contact? Well, other than the fact that, as you can probably figure out, it made it make a lot of sense to me in a lot of ways. We get a competently made film here. There's no, two ways about it. Really, it's well made. It's decently paced. There's a decent amount of mystery going on in the film, and it's fairly good at building tension, and there's like a sense of dread almost, because I think some of the things this film does right is that in the aspects of you kind of figure out at the beginning the film poorly explains, if you like, that there seems to be some kind of contact. Everybody is speculating that it's UFOs, and but nobody seems to have any concrete proof yet. But all the news channels are reporting on it. Something is happening, but nobody really seems to know why. And the answer is at this farmhouse, because their father was researching. And they are kind of told that human existence is close to being extinct if we don't make first contact. Because there is this race of creatures that wipes out civilizations, not just humans, but anywhere in the universe, I suppose. When it comes to the end of their cycle, these evil entities kind of rise up and they will kind of eliminate that species, and then you've got to start again. However, this time there is a chance to save us. If we can make first contact with these beings, then we're saved. Doesn't explain how we're saved. It doesn't explain much more than that. But that's what we're meant to believe. It takes a long time to get there, because leading up to that point, you genuinely are scratching your head. It's one of those films where you're thinking, are they trying to be Close Encounters here? Is this like Close Encounters, or are they trying to do something else? There's lots of shining lights in the sky, red lights, blue lights, all this kind of stuff, and what's going on? And then it almost turns into like a possession film, because there's a character in this film that's kind of taken over, and you're not sure if it's taken over by what it is. Is it an alien? Is it something else? But that process of this character being possessed, if you like, was actually quite an interesting process, and I thought the practical effects for him were excellent. And this creature, certainly from my perspective, felt very threatening. I don't think they actually fully realised the potential of this creature on the screen, but it's almost like they didn't necessarily know what to do with it, or what to do with a lot of aspects of the story of this film. It just felt like they didn't know how to get from A to B, almost, the filmmakers here. So you've got a lot of scenes of these siblings, like I say, the brother and the sister, at the farmhouse discussing things, and then while they're trying to figure out the farmhouse stuff, you've got this other storyline going on of this character Kevin, who was seemingly taken over by one of these beams of light, one of these red beams of light, while he was out with his partner. And you see his transformation from who he was to what he kind of becomes, almost like the Fly, if you like, that transformation that you see with the Jeff Goldblum character. And beyond that, that's it. You don't get anything else. It's almost like, as well, the film Signs, the M. Night Shyamalan film. When you kind of told the story of an alien invasion, but you told it from their perspective. You told it from Mel Gibson and Joaquin Phoenix's and the kids' perspective. This is similar in a sense of it's not exactly what you would describe the same story, but it's told from the perspective of just a few characters, this brother and sister, and this guy that's possessed by this entity and his partner. And there's very few other characters in this film, and whatever characters we do see in this film are generally, meat grinder characters in the sense of they don't last very long. So it's a sci-fi film that never fully truly delivers on the sci-fi, because you're not convinced, what are the sci-fi elements here? What we're talking about. And it does try and delve and tread its toes into horror as well, with the body horror with this guy being changed. And that for me was the most effective part of the film. I think they should have maybe lent into that a little bit more effectively than they actually did. And it also gives clues in the film that maybe this guy isn't the only one that has been taken over by this entity. There are actually a few of them, which confuse things even more for me. So it's a film that overall is fairly unsatisfying, but it also had an awful lot of potential, I think. It's certainly watchable, if not confusing. I mean, it certainly felt confused to me at times. It didn't particularly tell the story particularly well. But it's not what I would describe as a terrible film or anything like that. Sometimes you'll watch a film that is just batshit and you just can't follow it, and it just gets really, really frustrating. This never really gets into that territory, but at the same time it never really fully satisfies either, or reaches the potential that it shows. So that's my review for First Contact. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please consider subscribing. If you are new to the channel, if you enjoyed the review, click like, and of course I will be back with more content on the channel very, very soon.